Log into gyroscopeme.com, the hottest online radio station in the world. GS Radio all day, all night, worldwide. Powered by Gyroscope Media Group, LLC.
GS Radio, the best internet radio station worldwide. Providing the best in music and talk shows. Go to www.gsradionj.com and check out the best internet station in the world. You're listening to GS Radio Internet Radio Station powered by GMG LLC.
Beginning there was Jack, and Jack had a groove. And after a while, a deep sleep fell upon him, and he was looking for a new groove. He began looking for a new nation, and it had to be a soulful nation. And he found it, and it was Soulful House Nation. And he saw a building. It was a tall building. It had 10 stories, and he entered the building and got on the elevator and pushed the 10th floor, but it stopped on the 8th floor. And that's where he found his new groove. And he began to jack and jack and jack and jack. And he knew that this was it. It was Soulful House Nation on the 8th floor. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
This is Soulful House Nation, and look who's here, my co-host, La Reina. I am DJ Dan. Hola, señora, ¿cómo está? You know, the unusual suspect. This is Soulful House Nation, and listen, I gotta tell you, it's been very, very exciting. I am DJ Dan.
Oh yes.
I just want to share with you a few little things, and we'll get to that later. But just want to take a minute, just a quick recap. Go back and check out our last show. We had Ace Mungeon on the show. That was a great show. We talked a lot of stuff, and he went way back in the day. He talked about the day stuff, what he did in the past. He's up here, and just an amazing conversation. Then we're gonna play the quick overview. We're gonna play the hottest song according to Track Source. Talk about some things that are coming, but we also need to go back and reflect. For me, for the last 2 weeks, and then we're gonna have Lorena reflect also. Then on top of that, we're gonna play classic, and after we play the classic, we're gonna have a good conversation, and then after that, we're gonna check out. We're gonna go into the Shazam free zone. We're gonna play all brand new music. So, Chuck, according to Track Source in the Soulful House category, DJ Spen, who's a well-recognized name in the business, had a new track with Gary Hudgens, who also is a very, very well-recognized name in the business, and Vanessa Mitchell. And the name of the track is Shout. So if you can just play a little snippet, because Facebook's a nasty, nasty little habit of shutting us down and muting us out. So, Chuck.
That. Are we on the air? Are we on the air?
We're gonna fade it out because Facebook is just this nasty little habit. Yeah. So let me give you a little update. Lorena, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hey. Yeah. Some updates here. Okay. First, and some new music. Vanessa L. Smith has a new track out called Whenever, and she does a great job on that. There's vocals.
What is it called?
It's called Whenever by Vanessa L. Smith. And also David Fioris has a new track out called Hold Me Close. We're gonna play that too. We're gonna play both of them in the Shazam free zone. Now,
Hold Me Close.
I just want to go back 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I was out of town. I went to Tennessee. And, of course, I've been through Tennessee, but I was on the way to somewhere. But this time I had a chance to stay in Tennessee. I stayed in a place called...
Lives in Tennessee.
Huh?
My son lives in Tennessee.
Oh, really? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I stayed in Germantown, which is right outside of Memphis. And I had a great time there. I went down for a birthday party. My wife's stepmother had a birthday party, her 75th birthday party. So we went down there, had a great time. We had a chance to meet everybody. Then, on the way out the door, so to speak, we went to Memphis. In Memphis, and it was really, really. Well, okay. Let me do it in reverse. Went to Beale Street, and Beale Street is like one of the most famous, if not the most famous street in Memphis. And we walked up and down and took some pictures and stuff like that. Now here's what was really, 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 I'm getting goosebumps telling you about it. Very, very powerful. We went to the Civil Rights Museum, and the Civil Rights Museum is in the same building connected to the building of the Lorraine Hotel. Now, if you don't know, Lorraine Motel was where Martin Luther King Jr. was shot. So we saw the actual place and all that kind of stuff where it was. I mean, we didn't go inside, but we could see. He was on the balcony, and we could see exactly where that happened. The second.
You saw the balcony?
I'm sorry?
You saw the balcony?
Yes, it's right there. The balcony's right there. You can take pictures, right? Now, you go inside, and then they had different letters and monuments dedicated to that. But you know what else was crazy? You watch a little film, and they kind of take from slavery days till now, until that period of time. And then what was also is they had the bus that Rosa Parks was on, where she said, "Nope, I'm not getting out." So, and I sat on the bus, and I was like, "Wow."
But wait,
Huh?
did you sit in the back of the bus?
Both. Both. I did sit in the back and in the front of the bus. So
Okay.
actually I sat in 3 places. All the way in the back. Then I sat in the middle, where I'm guessing she was sitting, and then I sat up in the front by the driver. So I was like, but what's crazy about it is that in the United States, this was actually going down like this.
Yes, it was.
And most people lived their lives like that was normal. And then somebody said, now I know other people must have been thinking about it, but somebody said, you know what? I'm not doing it anymore. Now there's a whole story in the background of how she got to do that, but the fact of the matter is she did it, and of course that set in motion a whole bunch of events. So anyway, that was big. Then this weekend, and then I want to hear you too. This weekend on the 4th, I came by my buddy Chuck, and let me tell you what. I mean, he had a cookout. We were listening to music. We had would-be DJs playing. but it was fun because Chuck had a real set mixed on here. But then you have family members who said, "Boy, this is my chance to DJ." Now they played some good songs. The programming was good, but I got to tell you, it takes a hot minute to learn how to mix beats. Anyway, they were boom, boom. I said, "What?" Okay, and I know that wasn't Chuck.
It's all been family fun, right?
It was all family fun, so we had a good time. The food was excellent, by the way. I got to tell you, Chuck can cook. He can cook. I'm just giving it up right now. I'm telling you straight up. And then Saturday. Sorry.
I need a plate, Chuck.
Okay, all right. I just put the word out. And then Saturday, as you know, we were at the at Naeem and Hope's event, which was really off the hook. I will say one thing: they had the pool, but me standing next to a pool is like me standing next to a train tracks. I'm stepping back. I'm not fooling around with y'all like that. I'm not a swimmer. Never have been a swimmer. Never will be a swimmer. I'm not. You're not going to ever see me at the beach hanging out. And God bless all you who do. Huh?
Not even.
Not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So I have a quick story.
Okay.
On that note, the Silver Fox. We all know Silver Fox. Yes. Alice Jenkins. Shout out to the Silver Fox.
Yes.
So she kept saying,
I'm sorry, I could barely hear you. Sorry. I could barely hear you. Sorry.
Huh?
I could barely hear you. Sorry, you sound kind of low.
Can you hear me?
I could barely hear you.
I don't know why.
Okay, no problem.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, we'll just go with the flow, and I can read your lips. No problem.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
Okay.
Anyway.
We're cooking with gas now.
That's
so, short story. Silver Fox does not like the water either.
Okay.
So she kept saying, "Oh no, you're too close, too close. You got to move away from the side of the pool. Oh, you're making me nervous." Okay. So I have to give her a hug, like a comfort hug. "I got you, Silver Fox. It's okay. I won't go near the water. We're fine. I don't like the water. I love the water, but I cannot swim." So I understand. Okay. I understand. Okay. But I did the water. It felt so good.
I heard.
Why wear a bathing suit for nothing? Get in the pool.
Well, I knew straight up that the kid, first of all, like you, I never did learn how to swim.
You did?
Absolutely not. And I did not learn how to swim. And so I know my limitations. I don't even fool around with y'all like that. So, anyway, but I had such a good time. When you go to an event like that, it's the event, it's the music, it's the atmosphere, and it's also the people that you connect with, reconnect with, and something for us to consider. we know so many people in the house music community, but we know them from house music.
Right.
And if you get a chance to sit and, like, I was in situations where I could, like, have conversations and things, then you find out, I mean, we obviously know, but you find out that Billy Bob is into this, or Billy Bob does this, or Mary Jo does this, or Raheem. So, you know, so for example, those who don't know, you know, I'm in the real estate business. That's my quote-unquote other business. And Mel Cherry, who does a lot of the sound, is an electrician. I mean, so, you know, you have all these things that people do that, but we come together because of our love of the music. And then, of course, we make friends and family. Yeah. So that is good. Yeah. Anyway, tell us about well, let's do it this way. Tell us about Saturday. But I want to do this. I want to save it for our conversation. But I want to tell you a couple dates and stuff that are coming up, and maybe we can make some announcements. You want to do Gone But Forgotten? Gone But Not Forgotten?
What we're going to do, I'm going to tell you about my weekend.
Okay.
And last.
Yeah, but I want to do that. I want to do that when we start, after we come back to the thing. I should have really kind of jumped the gun anyway on that. I should have gone as detailed, but we're going to get into it. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, I should have fell back for a minute, but I got so caught up in the moment, you know. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a couple quick things, a couple quick announcements. So August 13th, I'm excited. I'm gonna be on the Dollhouse. This Saturday, as you know, is on Ankle Park. But on August 13th, I'm gonna be on the Dollhouse. And when I play, I'm gonna play new stuff, but I'm also gonna play stuff from people that we know. So I'm gonna play quite a bit of their music. And also the 24th, it's gonna be Gone But Not Forgotten, and then on the 31st, I'm gonna be with Mark IV Disco. They're doing their annual cookout. So those are the things that I have right now. And then I just want to play one little. Hey, Chuck, can you just play the the old school track of the week? Tom Misch, Beautiful Escape, and then Lorena and I are gonna have a full-blown conversation. Oh, I love this. Sorry, I got carried away.
Feel you breathing down my neck.
Peace and love and happiness. Are we waiting for Chuck to play something?
Yeah, he's playing.
That my soul, it belongs to
Alright, so we're gonna fade it out.
I just wanna go. I just wanna view.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Now, Lorena, speak. So
With
anyway,
you.
you started to tell, like I say, I really went too far, ladies and gentlemen. I just got caught up in the moment. So I apologize for that. Lorena, I'm so happy you're here. And we just want to talk about some things and you know, events coming up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let's just start off talking about some things. Or do you want to talk about?
I'm just talking about things, Dan.
Okay, you want to talk about some things first?
Okay, let's do it. Okay. Last week, I didn't share this with you, but my partner's father passed away around Father's Day. So his granddaughter was born on his birthday. So we had a birthday celebration in honoring her father and celebrating Milan. That's her niece. It's her great niece. Oh my. Her great niece's birthday, Milan and Richard. And it was really, really beautiful. The family was all together. They made a banner with pictures of, they called him Pop Pop. Okay. Pop Pop and Milan. Huge banner that we had on the floor, but you know, it was a kid's birthday party. It was so beautiful. And I took pictures of it. I don't have them to show you now, but I can at a later date.
Okay.
It was just a beautiful family gathering, honoring their father and celebrating Milan's birthday. So we did that. That was fabulous. I had a fabulous weekend cookout with my family. Tisha had to work. She wasn't able to attend, but that was nice. Okay, so when my children were growing up, we cooked out a lot.
Okay.
And I cooked a lot.
Okay.
There was so much food. My son had so much food there. I brought a tray and 6 little trays of food.
Oh, wow.
He had ham, steak, shrimp, corn, zucchini, little potatoes. Oh my goodness! Burgers with American cheese. So much food. A huge fruit salad. My granddaughter Solana wanted the salad bowl was this really, really big. Like,
wow.
Really big.
Wow.
I brought home some fruit. It was amazing. But being with family is everything. Being with family is the wave.
Right.
The wave.
Wow.
And then, of course, Naeem's birthday party.
Okay, now.
That party was off the chain, as it is every year.
Right.
Never disappointed.
Never.
Always appreciative for the invite.
Right.
Thank you.
Wow.
The music was amazing. Now that Soulful Messiah, oh my goodness. You cannot sit down. Soulful Messiah, shout out to you. You make me move my body and I cannot sit down. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. He delivers.
I had a really good time. It was great seeing you, Dan.
Yes,
I love our together.
Yes.
We've got that pic.
Yes, listen, it was great seeing you, you know, and I didn't realize you were coming, and I didn't really think about it one way or the other, believe it or not. And I got up there and I said, oh my goodness, La Reina.
It was nice to see you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, then they had the fashion show, and that was a good look. Yeah, yeah.
For giving us some fashion at the end of Naeem's birthday party. The fashion was amazing.
That's another thing I don't fool with. Swimming and fashion. I mean, I like it, but I'm not like, you know, I'm not the guy to walk the runway. That's unless somebody drops something, I went to pick it up. But other than that, forget about it. I know my limitations. Anyway.
As I was leaving, I said, oh no, I think I might be catching the bug again. I was talking to Tyrone Chablis.
Okay.
Hi. Yes. I said, uh-oh, I think I'm catching the bug again. He said, uh-oh, you are? Are you? Are you really catching the bug again?
As he was backing away, huh?
A little bit.
Oh, my goodness.
Never know.
Wow.
You may see me on the runway. Never know.
Right. Wow. Well, you know, I saw him also. And I spoke with him about coming on the show. He said he would do it, which is exciting. You know, and you know, because you know, fashion is such a big part of house music. Because, you know, just like the b-boys, you can spot a b-boy, you can spot a priest, you can spot a firefighter, or a cop or whatever. You know, if you get in the environment and you pay attention, you can spot house music people, you know, in terms of how they dress, how they flow.
Yes.
So we have our own look. And so, anyway, I spoke with him, and I said, well, listen, I'd love to have you come on the show and just talk fashion, you know, as far as that goes. So he said yes, so I'm going to reach out to this week, and hopefully maybe sometime soon we can get him. How's that?
We're also going to reach out to Eddie Nicholas.
Right.
And interview Eddie Nicholas.
Okay. Now, again, a lot of people don't know, in August will be 9 years that I've been doing this show. Eddie Nicholas was my first ever interview. So a lot of people don't know that. So if you like that great philosopher, the hood philosopher, Biggieopolis Smallsolopolis said, if you don't know, Now you know.
Oh, Dan.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so anyway. That
Yes.
was good.
When we were at the party, I said, "Hey, Eddie, would you mind being a guest on Soulful House Nation?" He said, "Of course." You know how he
Okay.
talks.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
I said,
Yes.
great. I'll have my people get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
So,
Well,
looking forward to that.
you know, I have a few other things I would like to maybe discuss and have a conversation about. But we have a couple of events coming up. Can you just
That's you.
yeah. Can you speak to that?
We have Roselle on the 12th. We have Week Wake, September 6th. There is the Lincoln Park Music at the Fountain in Jersey City on July 16th from 7 to 9. In August, on the 16th, I don't know if it's pronounced Monty Irvin or Mont Irvin Orange Park. Is it Monty?
Monty.
Monty Irvin Orange Park. Their 10th annual house music festival. Guess who's going to be DJing?
Cool Lou.
Yes! Shout out to Cool Lou. And, I'm sorry, the other DJ, my boy, my big brother. What does he call himself? Monster Madness?
DJ
Lenrick.
Yep.
Lenrick.
Wolf.
Yes. What is the DJ name? Oh, I'm so sorry, Lenrick. Please forgive me. Well, Lenrick is also going to be DJing at the 10th annual Monty Irvin Orange Park House Music Festival. Shout out to the DJs. And we have Herb Martin, DVS, Ahmad, and Eddie Lickus will be the MCs for the evening, for the day. DVS.
Yes.
Now, I don't think I know him. Do I? Do I know him?
Well,
does he also dance at the house music parties?
he just dances, period. But
Does he wear
he's not.
black turban?
I'm sorry.
Does he wear a black turban?
Sometimes.
Okay, I did see.
And then he has a white beard. I'm sure if you see him, you'll know.
Yes. Okay. So I do know who he is.
Yeah.
DVS and Eddie will be hosting for the 10th annual Orange Park Music Festival.
Right.
We have our event, Gone But Never Forgotten. House of Runway. We're doing a memorial, remembering those that we've lost in the house community and the fashion community. That's going to be on August 24th from 1 to 7. It's family friendly. We encourage everyone to come out. It's going to be at the Jerseyland Community Park. Where is that again? I don't remember. Scotch Plains. I remembered. In Scotch Plains. So we have that event going. And this is a very special event. We're going to have a live fashion show. We're going to have a balloon release. Remembering all of those that we lost in the fashion world and the house community. Now, although we don't have names of everyone that we lost, we do have names of the people that we've lost. We, of course, contact their families first before doing this. So you are able to buy a T-shirt with the member or name of a member of a family member that you lost in the house of fashion. You can purchase the T-shirts for $25. Is that correct, Dan?
Yes.
Yes. The T-shirts are $25. If you want the name on the back of the T-shirt, you have to pre-order. So my name is on the flyer. Please feel free to contact me or Marcus to pre-order your T-shirts for this event. This is an event brought by love and caring,
Absolutely.
remembrance,
Right.
and honoring those that we've lost.
Right.
That's our event. And then I have to mention Newark Pride Bar Crawl. Hello.
Okay.
So that's in Newark on the 12th of July. It's Lincoln Park Newark Black-Owned Spirits Bar Crawl. So this is a Black-owned company. and we're going to have a bar crawl. There are quite a few bars. I don't have all the bars, but I just know that Derek Dahl will be hosting this particular event on the 12th for Pride Bar Crawl. That's from 4 to 9. So all my Priders, get out there. Let's bar crawl. Let's bar crawl together. Have a cocktail or 2 or 3. None for you, Dan. You don't indulge, right?
No, I wouldn't say I'm a teetotaler, but I'm a heavy water drinker. But I tell you what, I will take it on the rocks, though. Oh yeah.
Say that again?
I will drink the water on the rocks.
You don't take it neat?
Huh?
You don't take your water neat?
Neat? Never heard that expression. I never heard that. Well.
That's without ice.
Oh, okay. That means without ice. Neat?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know, there's that bar crawl talk. So I wasn't up on it.
Yes, honey.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know, I do room temperature on up or down. Wow. Okay.
One. I forgot one.
Okay.
Deep Sugar Rooftop Jam. That's in Baltimore.
Okay.
Oh dear. I'm sorry. I don't have the date for that.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. But that's also happening the week of July 16th in Baltimore. It's called the Deep Sugar Rooftop Jam.
Right.
Jamming on the rooftop.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, fantastic. So what I want to do is take a few minutes. You know, we've never really had a conversation with you about, you know, where you're from. Of course I have, but I mean, so, you know, where are you from, and, you know, how'd you get into this house music thing? So.
Well, I'm a Montclair girl, born and bred in Montclair, New Jersey. Shout out to Montclair.
Gotcha.
Hey, Eddie. And I grew up in Montclair with both grandparents owning their homes, and my grandfather on my father's side was the first electrician. He had the first electrical business in Montclair. Saul Satterwhite and Sons, my father and my grandfather.
Okay.
My grandmother was one of the first Black teachers in Montclair, and she left a legacy at Watchung School, which my grandson attends.
Okay.
I like that. That's why he attends Watchung, actually.
Okay.
So I have a large family, 7 children. I'm going to have my 11th or 12th or 14th grandchild in September.
Well, after 10, you get. I got you. Now, what's their birthdays?
Back to you, Dan.
Huh? That's like that old joke. It goes something like this. So these guys, they had to make a decision about who was going to be thrown into the ocean off the ship. And the guy said, he says, listen, there's 2 of you left. We only got one thing. We can only save one of your people. So he says, okay. So the first guy, he says, listen. He says, how many people on the ship? He says, 2,933. He said, correct. And then he said to the other guy, okay, name them. Anyway.
That's too much. I can't possibly. I have a my best friend, Wendy. I have to call Wendy, say, Wendy, when was Allie born again? 8889. Net. Yes. Thank you, Wendy. That's why you're my bestie. Thank you.
Now,
but it's a joke that we have between us.
Yeah. Now, what do your grandchildren call you?
Gma.
Gma. Okay.
Yeah, Gma.
I have grandchildren too. I have 3 actually, and they call me. Huh? Yeah.
How many?
I have 3 grandchildren.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
And they call me Big Papa. How about that?
I love it, Big Papa.
Yeah, Big Papa.
I love it.
Yeah. So you were around. I'm sorry. Before this.
I didn't say.
Yeah, before this house music thing happened. How did you? Well, no. First, let me go back. Satterwhite is really a very common name I'm kidding.
Common?
No, I'm kidding. Satterwhite. I never heard that name before till I met you. And I'm just
Really?
wondering now, I mean, like, does that
I
have
have
a meaning or how did, yeah, where did the name Satterwhite come from?
So I remember saying to my mom one day, Mom, where does Satterwhite come from?
Okay.
None of my friends have that last name. No one in the school is named Satterwhite. It's not Jackson. It's not Stevenson. It's Satterwhite. I said, it sounds so white.
Well,
My great aunt told me the story.
okay.
My ancestors were slaves,
Okay,
and
same here.
you have the slave master's name,
Oh,
Satterwhite.
okay.
There is a Satterwhite Point in North Carolina. That
Oh,
is
okay.
my family.
Oh, okay.
If you're in North Carolina, you go to North Carolina, look up Satterwhite Point.
Okay.
My family, my ancestors.
Okay. All right, because that's an
I always
unusual name.
wondered that again because my son,
Okay.
when I had my first son, Brendan, he said, Mom, what were you thinking with my name? I said, what do you mean, baby? What do you mean? He said, Mom, my whole name sounds like I'm a whole different person. Look at my name is Brendan Winston Martin Satterwhite. I said, on paper, that looks good. On paper, you can hide right
I
away.
just, at least, at least they'll meet you, right? Sandra, how are you? You know, since I have her on the line, Sandra, I've been meaning to ask you, is it pronounced Sandra like S-O-N, or is it Sandra like S-A-N? Let us know. Anyway. Yeah, so, okay. Okay, so they named the city after you. That's all right. A town.
It's just a point. It's just a point. Satterwhite Point.
Yeah.
It was a huge plantation,
Okay.
and they converted it into smaller cottages, and I don't remember what it is exactly. I think it's a camping ground or something.
Got you.
Maybe a camping ground, but it's called Satterwhite Point. A friend of mine went to North Carolina, and he called me. He said, Nettie. I said, hey, Chuck, how you doing? He said, Nettie, is this you? I said, it's me. Hi, Chuck. No. Listen. I'm in North Carolina. I see you took a picture. Satterwhite Point. Is that you? I said, oh, my goodness. Really? I don't know. I have to find out. And I found out. It's me. It's us.
you. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so, again, just never had the conversation with you, at least on air. Who were some of your early music influences and, who were some of your music influences, in terms of,
I'm not good with titles and names of
No problem.
people that create these songs, but I've been listening to house music since I was a freshman in high school.
Oh, wow. So that's only a couple of
And
years.
I was going to the city at 16 years old, getting into the fun house.
Okay.
The club, it starts with the letter M. I can never remember the name of that club. The Tunnel.
Okay. All right.
Getting in, saw, what is the name of that group? I have problems with my Mary due to my Moya Moya.
Okay.
In Vogue.
Oh,
I saw
sure.
at the Tunnel.
Oh, really? Okay.
An amazing show. Amazing show. And I used to also go to Nell's in New York.
Okay.
My other best friend, my sister friend, she introduced me to Nell's, and she became friends with the DJ, so we never had to pay to get in, and we could always just walk right in.
Gotcha.
And we would just walk right in, and I saw Biggie and Little Kim there.
Oh, wow.
I also saw, and Biggie was really humongous. He was just massive. He was massive.
Yes.
And Little Kim was my height.
Yeah, she still is.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, she was the prettiest little chocolate thing.
Yeah.
Was. But anyway, and I also he offered to buy me a drink.
Okay.
He was a rapper. He did jazz though, a jazz rapper. He rapped to jazz.
Okay.
I cannot remember his name. Forgive me.
That's okay.
But I know I can't remember. But anyway, he offered to buy me a drink.
Mm-hmm.
And we met. And I was like, "Oh, I'm married. Thank you for the drink."
Okay.
Peace, brother.
Okay.
Later. And I've been a house head ever since.
Okay. Yeah.
A house head ever since.
Yeah.
In high school, we did a talent show.
Okay.
I choreographed the dance and asked a friend of mine to dance with me.
Mm.
And she said, Annette, what's up? Can you not dance full out? I said, no, I cannot dance full out. I don't know what that is. You're going to also dance full out. You're going to dance full out, which means performing every move precisely.
Got you.
We won the talent show.
Okay.
We won the talent show.
Mm.
I said, see, girl, you dance full out. We won the show.
Okay. Yeah. Now,
I was also a basketball cheerleader.
Okay. Now,
in high school.
Now, see.
Yeah, I left a small legacy.
Yeah.
In Montclair.
Okay.
One of my friends said, I met you through hearing about you. I said, what did you hear? She said, well, I heard you one of the best dancers in Montclair. I said, technical dances, ballet, modern jazz. I'm technically trained.
Okay.
I was on 2 years, which is very painful.
You were on what for 2 years?
I give ballerinas a lot of respect.
Oh, okay.
I was in ballerina shoes. And listen to this short story.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Glenfield School, which is a gifted and talented program.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a black dance teacher, Mrs. Lumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
Love her.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a new teacher come to the school. And she was a small white woman named Mrs. Appel.
Okay.
Mr. Appel told me that I could not dance on point because my thighs were too big.
Okay. All right.
I went to Mrs. Lumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Lumpkin said, she said, what? I said, well, she said that I could never be on point because my legs are too big. They're too thick.
Okay.
She said, oh, did she? Okay, stay here. I said, no, Mrs. Lumpkin, I don't want you. She said, no, it's okay. Sweetheart, stay here. Well, do you know what happened, Dan? I know you know what happened. What do you think happened to Mrs. Appel?
Okay.
Okay, you have nothing? Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to say, give me 3 choices. Choice number 1.
Choice number 1, she stayed.
Okay.
Choice number 2,
Okay.
restricted from teaching dance.
Okay.
Choice number 3, she was relieved of her duties teaching the black students in Montclair at Glenfield School's Gifted and Talented program.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Anyway.
So hurt. I was so hurt. I said, what? Because I ran track.
Well,
So, she told me, oh, no, your legs are too thick. You could never be on point. I was on point for 2 years. Hello.
okay. Well, I'm going to say along those lines is that you really, like, people come up with opinions, and they put this way. Like, a lot of times what happens is people put you in certain boxes, and they believe that this is where you belong. And if you don't fit in that box, or if you don't respond to that, then they get hot with you. I have a friend, a childhood friend, who's not speaking to me now, which is fine. Because, my attitude about if people want to speak to me, if people want to go. I'm like, listen, I have the coin of phrase, the gift of goodbye. In other words, you don't want to talk? No problem, good. And what happened was he got mad at me because I was doing these interviews with people regarding mental health. And he decided that I didn't really have a right to do that because I wasn't a trained psychologist or whatever. You shouldn't be. I said, listen to me very carefully. I said, you know what? I don't have to be a trained psychologist.
Exactly.
I'm not a producer, and I introduced And everybody knows I'm not a dancer. And I interviewed dancers. What are you talking about? So he got very upset with me. I said, you know what? I said, by the way, I already did it. I already interviewed 10 people. So what are you talking about? Anyway, my whole point is, so he got mad. I said, listen. I said, and another thing. I said, I don't listen to you anyway. You know, you always, yeah, I don't listen to you. I don't take anything I just take what you're saying for me as entertainment. For some reason, he got hot with me and never spoke to me again. That was 2 years ago.
What my favorite phrase is, I don't have time for that.
Okay. And my attitude is, look, listen, I have the gift of goodbye. Goodbye. You don't talk to me, you don't have to talk to me. We're good. I still love you. But at the same time, you know.
I'll go this way.
Anyway, I brought that up only because of what you said. But the other thing, too, is that with this house music thing, I knew about house music. And now, again, I'm not embarrassed to say it anymore. When I thought of house music, I thought it was music that you played in the house. And somebody pulled my collar and said, yo, man, listen. That's not really it. Okay. Oh, okay. So
you have to repeat that.
Huh?
Repeat that, please.
Okay. So when I first heard the term house music, I used to be embarrassed to say it, but now, you know, I'm not embarrassed anymore. And I heard the name house music, I thought that meant music you played in the house. And I didn't realize, because, you know, at the time, people would listen to club music. You know, we listen to club, dance, of course, disco, that kind of stuff like that. But, you know, I knew about it, and I had, you know, of course, I heard a few of the more popular ones. But not until my buddy Henry started working with Glenn Williams, the sound guy, who unfortunately passed away. And he would go to these events. He said, yo, man, you got to come out. You got to check it out. Blah, 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 blah. You know, he did this several times. So finally I went out, and I said, oh, yes. And I'll tell you the first event I went to. The first event I went to was in Jersey City in the harbor, and I remember Tim Wise playing, and he was getting it in. And, huh? Yeah, and I bought one of his CDs, and you know, and at that point, it was on. And then at the time, I was doing a show called Follow My Beat, and that I would interview people from many. I call it current events with a twist, because you know I have my silliness. You know, I always brought that with me. And then, but I had all kinds of people interviewing. So I was interviewing people like politicians, business people, HIV survivors, breast cancers. I mean, just random in that sense, but you know, just had those discussions.
Right.
So in the meantime, this house music thing is like, it's eating away at me. I'm loving this. I'm going to events and stuff like that. I said, you know, maybe I could do some interviews with house music. And, you know, I talked with Chuck about it because I was doing both shows at the time. And then, you know, I said, you know, I probably need to focus a little bit more. Talk with Chuck. He was like, yeah, well, let's do it. And so that's when I did my first interview. Now watch this. Tim Wise was DJing at the military park. So I see this guy on stage that I know is pretty popular because I see him around at all the different events, and he seems to be whatever. So I saw him on the other side of the park. So I said, well, let me do this. Let me approach him and see if he'd be open to doing it. They're doing an interview. He said, yep, I'll do it. And there was my first ever interview in Soulful House Nation. That was Eddie Nicholas. How about that?
Nice.
So,
I can't wait to be back on the show.
Yeah. So that was Eddie Nicholas. Yeah. But, you know, had a lot of people in the beginning. Magic gave me an interview. Beloved gave me an interview. Naomi Johnson gave me an interview. Dawn Tallman gave me an interview. Strafe gave me an interview. Glenn Williams, before he passed, gave me an interview.
Are you just dropping names, Dan?
I'm just name dropping like crazy.
Dropping names.
Yeah.
You're dropping names, baby.
Yeah. So, you know, I was on my way. Anyway, here I am. In August will be 9 years. And yeah, it'll be 9 years.
I'm part of your show.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say I'm so happy that, and also too, I want to publicly thank Marcus for that, for introducing us. You know,
Yes,
he saw it. And, yeah, it was a good look. Yes, yeah. But
thank you, Marcus.
yeah. Well, anyway. So, so you.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, my number one all-time favorite house music track. By the way, huh?
Drum roll, please.
Okay, but anyway, by the way, you know the best way to get somebody's attention?
What?
I'll tell you later. Anyway. Anyway. Yeah,
Song.
Mass Choir. Mass Choir. Can you remember the name? Is it Take Me Away? Take Me Away. Take Me Away. Oh, man, I tell you that. Yeah, what's the name of it? Oh, I can't remember it now. I haven't played it in such a long time, but that's DJ Spen and all that. And,
I think you should play it today.
huh? Well,
I think
today's all new music. I'll play it Friday.
Okay,
before
Friday.
6. Yeah, yeah.
Friday. We're going to Friday.
So tell me what's coming up with you this week.
This week is Roselle,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? Roselle.
Uh-huh.
And what else we find?
Okay.
We're like leaves. We just float around.
Mm-hmm.
We float.
Oh, okay, like leaves. I got you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we float. So we're definitely doing Roselle. We do that every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like we go to bed early and
yeah.
everything to prepare. We prepare, pack our things the night before.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a big. It's a big event.
Oh yeah, I love it. I mean, they do a great
So
job
that's
there.
a big thing.
Yeah, that's Wally B in them. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that, as we wind this down and get ready to go into the Shazam free zone, anything that sticks out in your mind that you would like to get done, or you want to see happen in the house music community, any excitement, anything that you see trending, anything.
I need the shade to stop.
Okay.
I just need the shade to stop. We'll leave it there.
Okay.
I need the shade to stop. House music is about love and community.
Got you.
And when we don't act like we're loving the community, there's a problem. So I just want the community to remain positive and united.
Mm-hmm.
It's important.
Right.
It's very important.
Okay. Fantastic.
I think I'm going to try to bring my grandson with me to Roselle before he goes back to Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
This year. He's here to visit his father.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to bring him to Roselle. He loves house music and he's a foodie.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
My creative. Yes.
Wow, that's all right. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well,
Yeah.
well, listen, what we're going to do now, we're going to go on over to the other side. Folks, want to thank you for joining us. Hey, I'm going to ask everybody to hang in there and share. What we're going to do, we're going to go on the other side. We're going to play some house music. We're going to play all brand new house music. And so what it is that I'm going to say it and play it, and then you can get to decide what you want to do with it. And it's going to be all brand new music. Now here's what's interesting. Of course I know all the hits. I mean, this is what I do. But somebody's got to introduce new tracks. And I got to tell you what's exciting is that we're on Facebook. We get hundreds of views on Facebook. But on all the platforms, we're doing about 2,500 views per show. And then that's not counting any reposts and all that kind of stuff like that. So
Right.
So we're on Facebook, of course. We're on Twitch. We're on X. We're on the website. We're on Vimeo. We're on YouTube. We're on a lot of different places. And then too, we repost it back on YouTube and things of that nature. So if you want to see too, a lot of the interviews that we've done on this, you can go to YouTube, Soulful House Nation. Also, too, I want to tell you we're going to have some interesting things coming up soon, and we're going to do more and more and better and better and better. One of the shows I would like to do is I'm calling it What Do You Do? And I just say that because I was talking about this with Annette earlier. You know, what brings us together is the house music. But
Yes.
most of us have other lives other than house music, whether we're a dancer, DJ, producer, artist, you know, and, you know, for example, a sound guy like Mel Cherry's mentioned it. Mel Cherry's he's a licensed electrician.
Mm-hmm.
He's like off the hook with that. Also, too, you know, for me, many of you know, I'm in the real estate business. That's what I do, aside from this. But, you know, you have other people have other jobs. We have the other side businesses. So just, I'd like to do a show one day called, you know, What Do You Do? Or at least make some posts along that line. What do you do? Anyway, so.
Interesting. That's big interest.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what we also ought to do? You know, we go to a lot of these events. And there's and there's a lot of single people out there. Maybe there's something to be said, some introductions and stuff. You know, most people will not approach people they don't know. They have to be introduced. Now, I'm one of those people who I have no issue approaching people, scared or not scared. I do it anyway. I mean, this is our 332nd show. And I will tell you, 95% of the people, these 97%, I cold approached. So I'm just saying. Now, since most people aren't willing to do that, maybe we could do something, we could do some introductions. So anyway, almost like the Sadie Hawkins thing where the lady asked the guy to dance. I don't know, we'll figure out something. Just some ideas.
I'm the same way, Dan. I will approach someone and say, "Hi, how are you? I'm Annette. What's your name?"
Yes. Yeah. Most people, I'm not saying you can't do it, but they won't do it. So anyway, I have an idea. We have to hash it out a little bit, see how we can pull it off. But that was just one of the thoughts.
Yes, it's hash.
A lot of single people in the house music community. A lot of single people.
You trying to hook people up, then?
I'm trying to hook people up. That's right. And if it works, I want a fee. No, I'm kidding about the fee part. You just pay to get in the door. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, we'll see. We'll figure out something. All right, so folks, hey, Annette, nice chit-chatting with you.
Nice chatting with you, Dan.
We're going to go on the other side. We're going to
What's my name?
Huh?
What's my name?
I'm sorry, folks. I lost my mind momentarily. Lorena. For those of you who don't know, that means the queen. And that's
yes. And since my children are Spanish, I'm Spanish by injection. Okay. I can call my reina.
Yeah. Well, that's like that lady who said, "Oh yeah, how'd it go? It went like, oh, you know, they saw this young lady. Says, oh, do you have any Dominican in you? And she said, well, I used to, but then we broke up. Okay, all righty, all right, folks.
My children, I love you, kids. All 7 of them.
Okay. All right now. All right, so Chuck, you want to start us up? Hey, just want to give a big shout out to King T Finesse, also to Ariel Shante for putting our themes going together, and also Chuck Roberts, the late Chuck Roberts, for putting our vocal drop.
Our theme song.
Vanessa L. Smith, we all know. It's called Whenever.